Tuesday, December 27, 2016. This is going to be episode number 335, and the topic is the speed of execution matters. Welcome to the DO Boxing Show. I'm your host, Dameon Okposio. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. In this episode, we're talking about the speed of execution matters. And what does that mean? Well, I'm going to be talking about it pertaining to the 2017 Canadian Boxing Expo and trade show that's going to be coming up in May 2017. So when I'm saying speed matters, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you're going to do something, do it. Commit to it, jump on it, because there's so many benefits to actually taking action right away. It helps develop trust. It helps, if you're going to be committed to something, you set the money aside, the money's already spent, you know you're already what you are obligated to do, and now it frees you up to plan and make the most efficient use of the decision that you've made now. In addition to that, if you have a trusted source that you're investing in or that you're putting your money into, it now gives them an opportunity to make the most of your money in making an event happen. So as it pertains to the 2017 Canadian Boxing Expo and trade show, the vendors that come on early benefit from it. Case in point, Tyrone Bradshaw. Tyrone Bradshaw has specialty boxing, and when I announced about 4 or 5 months ago that I was going to be doing the 2017 Canadian Boxing Expo and trade show, which happens every year, he was like, man, I'm in. And even at that time, I didn't have an actual location that I was looking at, but I really appreciated the fact that he was willing and able to put money up front to make sure that he had a space. Actually, to be quite honest, I was reluctant at that time to take money. There was a real estate agent that was trying to give me money at the same time, and I said, no, I wasn't quite sure where I was going to be. We've been in Mississauga for the last few years at the Hansa House, and I was changing locations, and I didn't know whether we were going to be in Toronto, London, Pickering. I didn't actually have an idea of where the trade show was going to be because it depended on the venue, and I was looking at another location in Mississauga, but Varsity Arena came up, and it ended up being a great location. So that's where I put my deposit down, and where the Canadian Boxing Expo is going to be, as well as the trade show as part of that event. In any case, at that time, Tyrone Bradshaw said, hey, it doesn't matter where it is. I'm making a commitment. I'm going to be there. So take the money and make sure I have a spot at the event. And I was like, okay, that's great. Thank you so much for the support. And at that time, I just had a very vague promotion that was showing that it was actually going to be taking place and occurring, but it said Canadian Boxing Expo coming the spring of 2017. It didn't actually have a date or location because I didn't have those solidified yet. What Tyrone Bradshaw coming on early did, though, it was a good thing for him and also for me, because when I redo the posters and when I was redoing the advertisement to let people know, okay, we have a location, we have a solid date, we have a venue booked, I needed to redo the posters and, use the images. I could have reused the same images, and with some of them I did, but because I got to pick them anyways, pick images anyways, why not use somebody who's invested into the event and give them coverage, and they're going to know exactly who's going to be there. So as you're going to see here, I redid an advertisement using a photo of Tyrone Bradshaw in what represents him and how he represents the business of boxing and his brand Specialty Boxing, which is actually going to be at the actual 2017 Boxing Expo and trade show. So that's a very direct example of how speed and execution can be of a major benefit to someone And I'm not just talking about my trade show. I'm just talking about in business in general. There was a great book that I read that had a huge impact on me. It was called Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbro. And in that book, now don't quote me on the details, but I'm going to give you a rough kind of Coles Notes version of where they're talking about speed and execution. So there was a young author, and he wanted to learn about the secrets of millionaires. And so he went to this, billionaire steel magnate, and I believe the guy's name was Andrew Carnegie. And he came, and there was this big desk, and he was the billionaire gentleman was sitting behind the desk, and the young author was making his pitch to him, and he wanted to make a lot of money doing this, writing this book. And the billionaire said to him, "Okay, well, I'm going to make you a business offer. This is it." And unknown to the young author, Mr. Carnegie had a stopwatch under his desk. And I believe he gave him something like 60 seconds to make his decision. And he said if he didn't make the decision within 60 seconds, he would have told him no, he wouldn't have made any deal with him, and he would have showed him out of his office. He said one of his rules is if someone doesn't make up their mind right away, they're likely not going to follow through. And so he was a person that he dictated a lot of his business like that. What I'm saying is, while I believe some of that to be fundamentally true, sometimes people need time to mull things over. What I'm saying is there's a benefit to executing with speed if you know you're going to do something. There's a lot of advantages to doing it. Some of those advantages just come when you don't know. Some you can negotiate for because it's not going to take anything extra. For me, I needed to reinvest in advertising and continued advertising throughout the year leading up to the expo. So whether Tyrone Bradshaw's face was on the poster or somebody else's face, I was still going to be printing those posters. I was still going to be putting out that content. The benefit is he came on board early so I could utilize his image, which doesn't cost him anything extra. And then I'm printing up the posters, so he's getting the benefit of that. I did a Facebook campaign already where I put it out there, and his was one of 2 posters that has been advertised through a targeted market on Facebook, and he got the added benefit of brand recognition from that as well for no added cost, which is a huge benefit. And he could have spent over $200 himself just doing that, raising brand awareness. So there's a lot of advantages to speed of execution, and speed of execution matters. That's the point of this episode. So remember, you can ask us any questions related to boxing by sending us a message either through Twitter at DOKPOSIO, through email okposio@hotmail.com, or you can leave a message right in the comment section below. And we thank you again for your support and watching our show. Remember, you can subscribe to the DO Boxing Show by going to Dameon Okposio on YouTube to get every episode of the DO Boxing Show. Thanks for tuning into this episode. We appreciate your viewership, and we'll catch you on the next one.